Hey girl, this is episode 36 of the Her Best Self podcast. Today we're talking about the stages of change because growth is a process and you don't just wake up and become a butterfly. I cannot wait to share today's message with you. I know it's going to get your week started off just right. Here we go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. Ever since I was a little girl, I adored butterflies. I don't know if you're a butterfly lover, but the symbol of a butterfly and just the process of transformation and magical wings of the butterfly are truly amazing. And the deep and the powerful change that butterflies have to go through is one of the reasons why eating disorders and disordered eating is very tightly knit with the transformation of a butterfly. Today, I feel like something in me just wanted to come close to you and share all about the stages of change. I want you to see yourself in this process. I want you to see yourself in one of these stages and just acknowledge that that's where you are in your journey. And I want you to embrace the powerful, magical transformation and rebirth of the butterfly because, girl, growth is a process. And you don't just wake up a butterfly. You need to remember that growing might feel like breaking at first. So let's talk about the stages of change and let's talk about what you can do to embrace the stage that you're in. Recovery from an eating disorder requires change. I want to start there. It's going to require change. And change can feel super scary. It can feel hard. It can feel nearly impossible some days. I know you're probably sitting there right now and you're thinking, I want out of this so bad, but I don't get it. It feels so hard. How did I get myself here? And how the heck do I get myself out of this? The transtheoretical model, which is also called the stages of change model, was developed in the 1970s by Prochaska and DiClemente. And it evolved through studies examining the experience of smokers who quit on their own. And what these researchers found was that people quit smoking if they really were ready to do so. So the model focuses on decision-making with intentional change. And that's what I want to talk about today, because maybe you don't feel like you're really ready to change, and that's a stage in this transtheoretical model. Recovery is going to require change, and we have to acknowledge that, but we also have to get really true and really deep on where we are in this process, because we're going to go through different stages. The first couple stages are going to be shared with you, and maybe you're there right now and you're going to understand why you might be in this place of confusion, because this is actually a stage in the change model. So I want you to listen up today because this one is for you and it is backed by scientific research, but I wanted to bring it on the show today because it's so important when we think about trusting the process and we think about this process of transformation, that we remember that we might be falling apart when actually we're falling in place. And I want you to hear that again, friend. You might be falling apart, but you're actually falling in place. The first stage is the pre-contemplation stage, and this is where you will experience denial. Why is everyone so concerned with me? Why does everyone think I have an eating disorder or that I'm restricting my food? I'm fine. I'm completely fine. I just prefer no carbs. I'm on the keto diet. I do not have a problem. What is the big deal? What is your problem? Other people are smaller than me, and it's not my problem that you're okay with being the size that you are. That's not okay for me. I want you to hear me when I say this. If you are experiencing disordered eating behaviors and you refuse to confront the topic, or you become angry, or maybe there's someone in your life who you have approached and they refuse to confront the topic that there is an issue and they become angry, they may be in the pre-contemplation stage of change. I look back on when my parents, when my roommate, when the people that love me the most in my circle were trying to bring awareness to me, and I was in complete denial. I was so trapped mentally into this place of fog. It was like a brain fog with an Ed brain at the captain's wheel. I could not see past my own obsessions. I could not see that I was in a state of chaos. I just kept digging deeper and deeper. I was in complete denial. The second stage is the contemplation stage. This is where you may recognize that you have an eating disorder or that you have a problem, but you're not fully ready to get help yet with it. You feel like you can handle it on your own. You may want to change, but you really aren't willing to let go of that attachment and those unhealthy behaviors with disordered eating. It's almost like this codependency with Ed at the center. And some days can be debilitating fears, while other days you truly do want help. You might be thinking, I'm not that bad off. Maybe I'm underweight. Maybe I'm not underweight. And so you rationalize that you're like just not where you need to be yet, or you rationalize that I can't be that bad because I'm not underweight. You're experiencing this place in your mind where you feel like you're just not that bad and you can heal this on your own. Maybe you're not purging or binging daily, but it's like a couple times a week. Maybe these patterns don't feel so severe, so you don't feel like you truly have an issue. But you do recognize that it's a concern. And if you're here, I just want you to lean in today and hear me. This is going to require acknowledging. It's going to require change. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay for it to feel hard. And right now, it's just sitting in this place of, okay, I'm no longer in denial. I know I have a problem, but I'm just not sure right now if I'm willing to seek help for it. And then the preparation phase is the stage where you really want a way out because the issue, the concern, the obsessions have just gotten so bad. So again, you're going to go from denial to this is an issue and be back and forth in your mind that it's an issue until you can no longer deal with yourself. And then you're going to be in this preparation stage. This is where I see most of my clients come into personalized coaching with me so that we can really set ourselves up for a way out, because this is going to be the most effective place where in order to change, because recovery requires it, you're going to need to sit with the pain long enough and go, okay, I just can't deal with this anymore. I need a way out. And so preparation is that you want to change, but you might feel confused and you don't know how to do it. That's where a recovery coach can come in. That's also where a therapist and a treatment team can really help support you. And if you're looking for a recovery coach, I happen to have a couple slots left. I'm actually opening up an additional slot for the month of May. So you will want to jump on over to lindsaynickel.com and apply for coaching, fill out the form, and we will meet to chat about what that looks like for you. But the preparation stage is, I feel confused. I want you to know, sister, confusion comes from the enemy. Confusion comes from the enemy. Confusion is a place where your brain can stay so that you don't progress forward, so that you don't grow, so that you don't change, so that you are staying stuck in your current state. This is why it's so important to get help when you're at this place. You're showing action and motivation, and it's important that you derive at a solid plan that's going to set yourself up for your very best future, because you do not want to stay in this place of confusion. In fact, none of these phases are linear, okay? So when you're going through these stages of change in this process, yes, it's important to trust the process, but I also want you to know that you don't in one phase go out to the next and then to the third and then to the fourth and then finally to the fifth. there's many times that you can go back into a different stage, or you can be in one stage with one thing. So for an example is you're eating 3 meals a day and you're doing some actions, but you might have really, really bad mental thoughts and emotions that are coming up for you. And so that is kind of setting you back into identifying of, I'm recognizing that I have an issue, but I don't know how to get my mind up to the speed of where I want to be with eating. It's really important to lean in and really think about this, is trusting the process and remembering that you might feel like you're breaking while you're actually growing, okay? Number 4, the 4th stage is the action stage. And this is where you're going to experience incredible fear because you're finally jumping. Like you are leaping. Girl, you are coming off of this place of I no longer want to do this, and you are doing the dang thing. You're learning strategies to help you cope. You're in recovery. You're working the things, you're doing the meal plan, or you're following certain types of actions and you're implementing these things into your life. You're spending time with yourself. You're listening to your thoughts. You're practicing intuitive healing behaviors that we do together. And you are starting to understand that you can experience life free. This place is also extremely vulnerable because when you face fears, the brain wants to take over and go, this isn't safe, this is unknown, I want to put you in a place of comfort and I want to pull you right back into feeling confused so that you can go right back into these old patterns of coping that you know so well. But girl, they're going to keep you there. And if you're here and you're tired of surviving and barely surviving at that, and you want to start showing up, you want to start living your very best life. You want to start living and being the very best version of yourself, not only for you, but the people in your circle that you love and adore. Getting into action is so important. And then just action and the next right thing and the next right thing. And you start getting this feeling of empowerment, which is going to propel you into phase 5. And this is the stage of maintenance. So this is roughly where researchers say is around a 6-month period without eating disorder behaviors. Maybe you're maintaining actions of recovery, you're doing it, you are focused, you are really trying to shed that old version of you, that false sense of self based on false beliefs, and you are set on your true self. You are set on finding that confidence. And what's really cool about this phase is that the more you do these things, the more you are battling the enemy. The more you are showing up, it's actually creating this power in you that you're feeling for the first time, maybe ever, or the first time in a long time, where you get this sense of empowerment, where triggers can come and you have a plan. Things can happen in your life and you can embrace it. And you can say, I am no longer that. That's not me anymore. I'm over here doing a new thing. This is the maintenance phase. And again, I mentioned you can still be going back in between. It's not a linear process. So you could be in one place with one portion of yourself, but maybe your thoughts are still trying to pull you back. And the National Eating Disorder Association actually talks about this, where you're still identifying your worth based on the number of a scale potentially, right? So you're still believing that you have this problem, but you're not really ready to kind of shed the fear of that weight gain, but you're also doing actions that are going to get you out of this place. That's a great place to be. Girl, we need to get you there if you're not yet. And I promise you that if you continue to put one foot in front of the other and you keep showing up for the person that you're becoming instead of the person that you are shedding, you are going to get there. But how does one become a butterfly? And I wanted to bring the power of the butterfly into this message today because metamorphosis is the process of transformation. It's the process from an immature form to a rebirth. It is the process of shedding your old self and transforming into the most magical, beautiful version of you. You have to be willing to fly so much that you're willing to give up being a caterpillar. The butterfly teaches us that this magical transformation can occur and that there is value in shedding the parts of us that no longer serve who we're becoming. The importance here is that the power is trusting the process. There's this deep and powerful change that can happen inside of you when you know where you're heading is so much better than what you're leaving behind. But unfortunately, what keeps us stuck is the unknown, the fear. It's like we're okay with where we're at because we're super scared of where we're going. What if I don't like myself? What if I don't like my body where I am headed? Girlfriend, there is not one person that I've coached, including my own self, that wishes I was back in that miserable place. And while it felt so hard and chained and like I was truly breaking on the inside because every single second of every day was a struggle, you can't go through this isolation engulfed by darkness forever. This is temporary. You can still come out beautiful and strong and new. Butterflies don't look back and wish they were caterpillars. And queen, neither do you. Girl, it is time for you to stop sitting in this place of denial. Stop sitting in this place of contemplation about whether or not you deserve to get help or whether or not you're sick enough. I want you to go back and listen to my previous episode about being sick enough. It's time to get into this transformational phase of your life where it's okay and not knowing all the steps of where you're going, but just trusting the process, because growth is a process and you don't just get to wake up and become a butterfly, but you need to remember that in this process, it is going to be the most magical, transforming experience of your life if you just believe that it's possible for you. Friend, I know in my heart it's possible for you because it was possible for me. And I can sit here today and I can tell you and show you in the results of my own being that I am now allowed to share this message with the world. I am now allowed to talk into your radio, your headset today because I've been through this process. And it was the most gut-wrenching of my entire being, but I was determined that I wanted to intentionally change. And I had to shed the parts of me that no longer served me, so that during the cocoon process, I could be transformed, rebirthed, renewed, redefined, and trust that not only was I going to be okay and get to the other side, but trust that I was worthy because God created me to be that way. Girl, I just want you to know that you're evolving and you're growing. And there is nothing on this planet that is holding you back from you but you. Lean in today, friend. Show up, transform, and become the magical butterfly that you so desperately deserve to be. I hope this message touched your heart today. And if you've enjoyed today's show, I want to bring you on over to our private community where you can continue hoping and healing through your recovery journey. Come on over to the Facebook community, Hope and Healing for Eating Disorder Recovery. You can find us in the show notes. And I just want to hold on you today because while the weight and the struggle and all of it can feel so freaking hard, if you haven't told yourself today that you're worth it, here's your message. Here is your message. You have permission to do whatever it takes so that you can live the very best version of you. And that doesn't require restricting food and being consumed with your body. Grow's the process, and you're growing, and I believe in you, friend. I'll talk to you soon, girl. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.